I do believe that against TL in the first week I played really bad, and I want my revenge against Jensen, so yeah, we're gonna win. I mean, the first time I played against Jensen, I was quite nervous. Playing against, one of the best mids in the region.
Here comes the pain, trying to slow into Niski. He's gonna get a sleep, but not before being knocked out. There is no way out, and Team Liquid will pick up where they left off, knocking down Cloud9 in North America.
Even though I think I'm the better player, I could definitely tell that he was making mistakes that he normally would make.
Niski finds the sleep. He doesn't hit. The paddles are there.
No, at least I feel more comfortable and more confident in myself as well.
I think this time around it'll be a bit harder, but I still think that we're the better team and I'm the better player.
Jensen will end their world, and that is a double kill over to the mid laner. Here comes Niski. He's gonna find the dunk right away. And a double kill for the Cloud9 mid laner. Cloud9 play Team Liquid. They look to be the ones to challenge the #1 team. Welcome back to the LCS. We're preparing ourselves for a battle that likely decides who ends the season in first place. A quick reminder that you only have a few weeks left to catch these teams live here in Los Angeles for the spring split. So make sure you snag your LCS tickets so you can meet the pros and be part of the action. Riot.com/LCS tickets. Say hi to us. Hello. Hi, camera. Hi, audience. Hello, teams. Beautiful. Look at that. It's all bathed in blue because both teams are the same color. Let's take a look at the starting rosters. On the blue team, it's going to be Team Liquid. Impact up in the top lane. Xfithy in the jungle. Jensen newly in mid lane alongside Doublelift with Core JJ in bot and support respectively with the coaches Kane and Dodo. And selecting the red side for this match, it is Cloud9 in the top lane. Licorice in the jungle. Spenskaren. Mid Niski. Bottom Sneaky. Support Zazel. Coaches Reapered and Rapid Star both on stage with them.
On LCS Cooldown last week, I hosted Licorice and Niski, and they seemed really excited for this matchup, especially given how their last clash played out.
Yeah, I mean, Licorice even mentioned how unfair it was that Niski had to face Jensen in his first LCS match. Licorice went through a similar thing when he had to face Impact on this LCS stage. So he knows very well what it's like replacing a player on this team. Now, we have to say Niski has only gotten better, and you can tell this does mean a lot to him. We saw in that video, he spoke on it a little bit himself. He felt very nervous during the first matchup. He's looking forward to the rematch. So you got to get more excited rather than nervous here for round #2 and make it count.
So while Licorice, Niski, and co have all been soaring on an 8-game winning streak, Team Liquid's plans to keep doing what they've always been doing, which is double winning lane and then winning in the late game.
Yeah, and we looked at some of the stats all time for Doublelift versus Sneaky, because these are two of our longest standing AD carry players. Game record is actually fairly close. Doublelift does have the lead 29-21 versus Sneaky. The in-lane stats are definitely Doublelift favored. Overall, the average at 15, up 5, up gold. A little bit of extra jungle proximity, but Sneaky has actually played more forward in lane. We track forward percentages, time spent across the halfway mark, and Sneaky has actually played a little bit more aggressive lanes. Now, though, Doublelift has added his strongest laning partner ever, Core JJ. This guy is a frontrunner for the MVP of the entire league. Now he's added to the power of Doublelift for their domestic domination. And it is definitely going to be a tall task for the C9 duo.
Team Liquid could be on their way to that 17-1 record, though, as the highest North America has ever gotten in a local split. No one's ever gone undefeated. Team Liquid, of course, dropped the TSM earlier, so that won't be them either. But C9 had the chance to tie for first place right here. They can bring TL down to that same 2 losses themselves. It's going to be a very exciting battle. These are definitely two of the teams people are really excited for to see who can win, who can represent an MSI. You've got a couple other teams just on the outside of that conversation, but certainly a really big one here. Got Cloud9 fans holding up some signs. TL fans, I'm sure, here as well. Mo is better than Tyler 1. I agree. Let's get into Champion Select.
This is the game everyone came here for. Team Liquid versus Cloud9 at the top of the standings. Cassiopeia already off the ban phase here. This is a champion that Team Liquid actually got more than any of the other teams, and I was expecting to be permaban. This was before the nerfs even came in. Not going to be the case this game, though. Team Liquid ban it themselves, as well as the Kindred, which
both of these players have had very big plays on in their professional careers.
And now we wait to see as the final bans come through. You know this is a match that both these teams were looking at for probably more than just this week, but maybe the previous week as well, and really honing in on what the strategies would be, who would win this fight.
And then we've even heard, you know, a lot of the talk about these two teams practicing against each other most, because the top teams generally form clumps of scrims and the bottom teams form more clumps of scrims.
Yeah.
And they definitely come to know each other fairly well, I'd say. So I'm super excited to see how that displays on stage.
Right away onto the Galio, which we've seen more and more become an actual support. ForgeJ's played it the single time, in fact, the only Galio player on his team right now. As far as current split LCS, we know, of course, he can play mid as well, but it's unlikely. So Zaya Rakan grabbed quickly here, and ForgeJ, I believe, has one of those skins for himself. I want to see Zazel play it.
He definitely does. It's one of my favorites. Will Sneaky play the Zaya skin as well. Give Ruler a shout out, maybe. The Lovers duo, though, interesting early round lock-in here for Sneaky and Zazel. Oftentimes, I'll see a all-in, very tanky support in answer, like the Alistar or the Leona into that. They feel like that's 100% a support Galio, and that support Galio is not nearly as tanky or have the surprise factor engage without the flash that can really punish a Rakan the same way those other two can. So that's why C9 are bold enough to go with this double lock-in.
Now, what's interesting is I've heard different opinions on how good of a laner Galio is. I agree he's not super tanky unless he can trigger Aftershock. That cooldown you can play around, but if he does land E into the taunt right afterwards, that's 2 stacks in the Kai'Sa passive. You can burn down a Rakan, who is actually a low health champion, but it's one where you have to play aggro to make that work. And of course, C9 with Zaya Rakan, one of the best 2-on-2 fighting lanes in League of Legends.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that Galio is missing is speed of engagement. The taunt, you have to kind of charge up to get a bigger area there for himself. And speed is the thing you're measured against when you're against a Rakan. Let's see, though. The LeBlanc and the Jace have both been blocked in. Jace, to me, has been just an extreme power pick on this patch, and it actually goes through to the second round of picks here. I think that's very happy there for Team Liquid to be able to pick that up. It's flexible between multiple lanes, and not necessarily doesn't have to necessarily go up against the Syndra, though I do think it would be strong.
Yeah, a nice thing that Liquid have going on right here is even if Jace goes mid lane, they play another physical damage top lane, they've got Kai'Sa with a decent magic damage profile. Their jungler pick is up still as well for something like an Elise or a Gragas, so you're not hemmed into one damage type. They have ultimate flexibility here, and that can make things really, really nice for you because you know you can move that Jace around. You can even put him jungle. We've seen that before as well.
All right, Jarvan and LeBlanc both off the table here for Cloud9, banning away. We expect Impact to pick up a tank, so maybe not the Jace, but he has also played a lot of bruisers very effectively. And he has also had that game on the Jace where he did die 1v1 to Darshan as an Ornn, but afterwards, you know, when he was left alone with the turrets, he was able to take down the turrets with no champions defending them. So I guess you could get maybe a little happy face sticker for that.
He got objective damage. What really matters.
You
here.
hit the turrets.
Yes. He didn't run away from you or outplay you. Aatrox will be the grab here, though, and of course that can still go jungle or top lane, so C9 going to wait to see what comes through and make sure they get the matchup that they want. Team Liquid now have to show their entire lineup.
And I think that both Niski and Licorice have had very strong games on Aatrox, so I would like to see one of these solo laners take it. Licorice had an amazing flank around to win the game for them versus TSM, a hard engage. Niski as well had solo kills against Huhi in the mid lane, and they were able to win that game as well. So I really like the solo lane Aatrox for Cloud9. Sejuani here locked in. Both those players, the jungle players, very accustomed to this pick as well.
Okay.
Does work very well with Jace. He can go melee form and stack his stuns up very quickly.
Well, it's kind of what we expected. Jace looks like it's going to the top lane as Orianna will be the matchup into Syndra here after weathering the single LeBlanc ban from earlier on. So Cloud9 now know their matchups. Is it Aatrox into Jace, or does it go jungle and you pick a different counter pick? York would have been my go-to, but of course that was banned away. Team Liquid don't want to see that matchup at all for themselves. So Licorice, what is your pick against this? And he's going to go for the old callback, maybe. Poppy used to be so good into Jace way back in the day. You just simply withstand the damage forever, and you scale into an infinite tank. You can never land the melee Q on you. It's going to be really good frontliner, good against Sejuani, good against Galio, good against Kai'Sa.
This brings me back to 2018 when Licorice was first put on Cloud9, and we're talking about him being this carry player up in the top side and him trying to grow into tanks. Then he comes out, carries Cloud9 when they're having their rough time, switching a lot of their star players between the academy team on Poppy.
Yeah.
Not only did he have a massive laning phase for himself in the 1v up off top side, he made a lot of team plays and good flanks to get those charges into the wall off.
This champion, I think, is just so good into the Team Liquid lineup. We saw in some of the interviews with the players outside in the parking lot is that I think Reaper has a really good idea for what to give Licorice to beat Team Liquid with. Poppy is so good against 4 of the 5 champions here who have a single long cooldown dash that you really don't want to lose out on the kit. And I think this champion can be absolutely the MVP despite just being a simple top lane tank. It's going to be a close one. We know opinion is split on who's going to win, and it's the battle for control of first place, at least for a little while here. Team Liquid a game ahead. C9 can tie them in the standings with this win here. Or Teal almost gets out of arm's reach. And watch the players get ready. Smiles on the faces. This is going to be an exciting one.
Jensen versus Niski. The first time around, Team Liquid and Jensen get the advantage. But Niski's been waiting. And here's your second chance.
Summoner's Rift, here we are. Team Liquid in first place, Cloud9 in second, but that could all change in about 40 minutes here. As the base gates drop, let's see what the level 1 strategy is.
North America's best domestic and international performing teams going head-to-head right now for a lot of bragging rights, but also a very big step up in the standings as far as who will likely finish in the first place spot. If Team Liquid get the head-to-head victory here, you know, winning both games in the regular split versus Cloud9,
Yeah.
it becomes very hard to knock them down the standings. They would have to lose to the other teams,
They'd have to lose 3 of their next 5 games.
and they just haven't done that.
Yeah, they haven't lost 3 games, period. Now, of course, we do have a word with the Cloud9 coach about this match.
Thanks, guys. Reaper, Team Liquid versus Cloud9. Now you have trained them both. Jensen versus Niski. Who is the superior mid laner?
They both are pretty similar concept. They don't like the loam. They want to stay the mid. So I think Syndra have a better matchup into Orianna. So this time around, Niski can shut down Jensen.
This time around. All right, well, this time around, that's the game that counts. Reaper, thank you and good luck. Back to you guys.
I like the way he said that.
Who's better? They both like to stay in lane. That's called dodging the question, Reaper. We all know you think Jensen's better.
Whoa! But
He would have
words
said
in his
Niski if he
mouth.
meant it.
Honestly, though, the Syndra Orianna matchup to me has been so interesting because, as Reaper is alluding to, the Syndra does have an element of kill pressure versus the Orianna for a lot of the game. You know, once you hit that level 6, the Orianna does have to watch out for that. But there's a reason Orianna is often picked into Syndra. Here we go, jungler approaches!
Level 1, now level 2, but he has the red buff. He's going to have the first knockup.
Oh,
There's no flash. He misses. He misses the knockup. Svenskaren's got no way out. And he gives over Jensen a bunch of gold.
After all this time, Svenskeren also playing against his old teammate there, goes too deep under the tower. As soon as that started, I had that feeling. You know, as a jungler, you do this sometimes, diving in on solo laners just too deep. You're not going to be able to get that kill. There's a heal on this Orianna. Orianna's almost always will run heal or barrier. Who got the scuttle? Was it double lift?
Double.
Double lift got it. Zayzlo, good attempt there. But double lift in the bottom lane is able to push up the lane. They are winning it as we have seen so often. But let's take another look at this tower dive here. Svenskeren makes a red buff level 2 gank versus old mid laner, then goes in deep. He
Just about flash.
flashes, doesn't hit it. And that wasn't even the third one.
Yeah.
So-
Jensen dies if he flashes right. That's for sure a kill if he flashes the right distance, but he flashed too far.
all right.
He overshot it.
Well, down to mechanical misplay there then.
Just mechanics. Oh, that's a heartbreaker, but it happens here, and it's a 500 gold difference for the early first blood. You don't get quite the full assist pool very early on in the game, and it is a 700 gold lead now for Team Liquid. His impact is no surprise pushing in top lane, but last time I saw this matchup, it only took about 4 levels to turn around, and Poppy would become invincible. Smithy getting to steal Krugs away, and Svenskeren knows it's probably missing.
Yeah, he can pick up the little babies he left behind, I believe. Maybe 20 gold in his pockets. But as we started to talk about, the bottom lane, once again, Double Lift and Core JJ. Probably the best bottom lane in the entire league that we have.
Oh, yeah.
They're pushing up against Zeyzal and Sneaky. They've got a CS lead for themselves early on. They even were able to go up and get the Scuttle Crab, which is such a huge benefit of having a winning bottom lane. They saw the junglers go mid, so they knew they had a free route towards the Scuttle Crab.
Yeah.
They get even more money and safety and vision for themselves.
Galio has the on-demand.
Oh.
Now a top lane fight. This time Svenskeren's game's gonna work out. And they get that kill picked up. Looks like bot lane is safe. Core JJ didn't do anything with that taunt over in that
Impact
rush.
Chase does get killed again. This one wasn't a solo kill.
Nope.
You know, jungle gank, yes. But as you were saying, Poppy here for Licorice has been such a strong champion, even though it is a tank. Here we go. He's going to go for the flash stun. Yep.
That was really nice.
Gets the flash stun, full range there on Impact. But Scaren's able to land the sweet spots this time because of the stun targets.
And Impact burned his flash for nothing. He was already chained with the W and couldn't get out of the box, so he's actually summonerless. But now, fighting back as Licorice was not
In the
recalled
minion.
himself. The minion's doing a lot of work, and Impact now he doesn't have a way out. Licorice is regenning. He's got the shield. He's got to pick it back up. Gets the
Xmithy.
grasp. But yeah, Xmithy's there. 2v1, a taunt, a tackle. He's buying a little bit of time, but certainly the kill must go over. There's no way to go. He's got a turret in front of him. Impact gets the trade kill. Licorice overstayed.
And Xmithy comes here to right what has been wrong for Impact. They get the kill back. He pushes in the lane. That means Svenskeren, though, does see the Sejuani up on the top side, so he's going to get the next bottom scuttle that spawns here, try and get some more safety for the C9 duo.
Turn that one right back. It was 5 CS plus the Scuttle Crab separating these bot lanes, and now they're about the same spot.
And because Xmithy got a lot of experience while these minions and while Licorice died in the top side, it was pretty much a full level up over Svenskeren there. Svenskeren just dinged level 4 off the Scuttle. So the Aatrox a little bit behind in experience as they've both been trying to output early pressure in this game.
And the game is still 700 ahead. Team Liquid doing a good job of this one. Good trade out from Niski. Triggers Electrocute there. Has the cleanse for a later Sejuani gank.
And we've hit that level 6 mark where the Syndra has huge kill pressure on the Orianna. So Orianna tries to stay back, dodge the Q spawn to just go for the CS.
Let's see the first recalls out of bot lane as well. Sneaky spent his entire mana pool, so it could be here that he goes for it, as the other bot lane will inherit a cannon wave. I do want to point out, it is non-TP bot lane, so your recall time does actually matter. Unlike most pro games, where you can recall whenever you want, and you get back to winning. This one is actually pretty good recall timing here. It's pickaxe double longsword. SP Reaver, of course, was buffed back in 9.4, so you don't lose that much priority rushing that item first compared to like the BF sword Infinity Edge push. And it should be a pretty reasonable recall for Sneaky, should be fine, and it should be a pretty easy match for Double Lift.
And I always have really liked cooldown reduction on Zaya. Early on, helping her make use of the big burst damage in her kit. See if she can go for the trades. I don't know how much she needs the mana refund.
You can spam. It's very easy to wave clear and spend your whole mana pool doing it. You don't have to, but it feels good.
Regardless, we are going to see Sejuani shown on those wards the observers passed over in the red jungle here. Those wards actually going to pay double dividends. They'll see the Galio roam here after recall. Very common for, between the 4 to 10 minute mark for supports to head out through a different lane rather than heading out through bottom. That's to go on help your jungler with warding. Try and maybe make a pass at ganking one of the solo lanes if they're in good positions. Here now, Sejuani is going for the invade and has made his way around. This might be...
Sejuani's coming around. Nice job getting away from that one. Jumping away. Just the flash came through, so Core JJ down a summoner.
All right, definitely going to be a little bit more vulnerable here on the Galio. Not level 6 yet either, so he can't help out with a jungle invade if they do see Sven Skaren. Smithy's got the timing here though on the blue, should be able to get low enough. Might be a smite bite though, he's getting here pretty quick.
Pretty close. It's going to be almost enough, and yes, he smites it away, and Sven not able to steal that blue for himself. So a nice one by Smithy, gets into the jungle, gets something out of it, remains a camp ahead.
Meanwhile, on the top side, since they had the jungler influence here, and Licorice has been able to get his early Bomby Cinder, you actually get the push on the base because Poppy can take so much damage with the Corrupting Potion charges, the biscuits coming through, and a little bit of armor goes a long way. And now he gets to push the lane up, Q spamming, Cinder Hulk burn, or not Cinder Hulk, just the Bomby Cinder burning.
Yeah.
Little bit of an invade here. They don't quite find Xmithy at the Wolves, but they do leave behind this controller that'll scout him soon.
Car's moving a bit of that as well, so they know where Sven Skaren is. And look at that, Licorice is taking the farm away. We know the teleport is down for impact. Has to block away because he'll pull aggro. So the W actually makes him take 2 turret shots. The Bomby Cinder would have done it for him. Either way, Smithy making his life a little bit difficult, making him drop some potential CS.
Yep, very happy to get that turret plate though, as Poppy pushing that into the wave. Sneaky. Also, as you're saying, spamming out a little bit to push these waves on bottom side. They haven't been able to actually damage the turret though. CoreJJ and Double are finishing up these minion waves before they damage the turrets. So far though, all plates have gone to Cloud9. One in the mid lane, one on top side, and those 2 solos slowly getting a little bit of extra money here.
Really bridging the gap of what these kills have been. Niski, I want to point out that despite the actual assist gold for First Blood going over to Jensen, it's CS lead for Niski. Keep in mind, Jensen had to burn summoners as a result. As sometimes those summoners can make you lose a bunch of CS, so somewhat expected results here.
And again, the Syndra with the kill threat definitely does get a positioning advantage in lane, whereas the Orianna has to be much more reactive.
We're kind of back to a normal holding pattern at this point. The first sort of item spikes have come through. The mana regen is in. We have a stopwatch already ready for Jensen.
Licorice uses a minion there.
Yeah, that's been his normal trading pattern.
A little bit of a taxi.
Yeah, he turns on Grasp the Undying by hitting minions, charges a random cast minion, auto Q, auto, and walks right back out, and Impact tends to get worn down for it. Sunfire Cape fully done, makes it really easy to stay alive in these fights. You can see his passive shield fully tanks an empowered Shock Blast. And here's turret plate number 2 in the mid lane. Niski getting more and more out of this lane, now actually fully a 200 gold or so lead in that matchup.
We're getting a strong one there for his mid laner this time around. Yes, but oh yeah, actually the tip of it there was able to finish up the blue. Control ward goes down. Is he going to start this? Because he knows, you know Xmithy is on this top side of the map, so he doesn't start it off, but his control ward is immediately cleared out. Look at this gold here in the mid lane.
Gold, yep. 300 of that being plate, some of that being CS as well, and a little bit back to Jensen for the assist.
And this is pretty typical damage exchange early on, as far as Syndra looking for the poking opportunities, trying to find an angle on the Orianna. Smithy trying to keep him safe, passes through. They don't care about giving through vision. CoreJJ waiting for his jungler so that he doesn't get exposed when he goes deeper to fight for vision.
Now it's going to be the battle for the bottom scuttle. I feel like it's been bottom a lot so far this game. And they've been fighting over it, giving some vision over this time. Makes Smithy with the lead, and now right away onto the Cloud Drake as CoreJJ knocks down some more of the vision. And it's darkness right now for C9.
C9 bottom has pushed up, but it's because Team Liquid know that Aatrox is top side. There's no way for Sven Skaren to get down there. Yeah, the top laners could teleport, but it's still a numbers advantage for Team Liquid, and they'll trade the rest of that turret for a Cloud Drake.
And that's going to be the trade right there. So a lot of move speed on a Team Liquid. It actually has a gold conversion, generally speaking, but it's going to be power that pervades throughout the rest of this game as it's already 3 turrets, plates down top side. And look at that, zoned off XP entirely, zoned off the gold as well. And here with this Rift Herald charging in, it's going to be Licorice probably getting all of that gold. Oh, right, sorry, he hasn't summoned it yet. Eventually, it's going to kill the Rift Herald and probably send it top lane.
Yeah. Just leashing a little bit far out into the river. Rift Herald has a very long leash range, by the way. You can actually kill it pretty far away from the turret as well, as long as nobody sees you doing it. I have to say, the later this game goes, I mean, this game already is not going to look like a very successful arena for Impact to play in. He's a starved Jace, He's going for the Black Cleaver, so your Shock Blast later in the game, even if you hit a squishy target, aren't going to chunk them that effectively. And even with the Shred from Black Cleaver, you're not going to put too much of a dent into Poppy. So I think that Cloud9 are very happy with the way the top side of the map has gone, considering the team composition that they have set up. But again, Team Liquid, they've always had their eyes on bottom. It's always about the double lift 4JJ lane for them, and that has a slight advantage.
And even though the first power spike came through for Sneaky, he finished Essence Reaver a little bit earlier on, it's still not actually more attack damage right here. It's just cooldown reduction. So C9 pushes first. They can move around the map first, but hasn't turned into Drakes, hasn't turned into Heralds or Scuttles or anything. So doesn't matter too much. Now this time around though, they do get double lift to force the recall back. There's the BF double pickaxe, and it means the first turret plate now goes through.
All right. Sneaky happy to cash in a little bit here, shared with Zeyzal. As you said, the double pickaxe, that's for Kaisa to get her Q evolve as fast as possible. Then you turn them into your completed items, Infinity Edge,
Yeah.
Rage Blade, after you can get your nice little mini power spike of so many extra missiles coming through.
And double lift nearly level 9, that'll be that huge spike of evolve plus rank 5 Q, and could be really, really painful if he can find that correct target here. Almost gets the root, nice juking. Double lift not caught by the feathers. And you can see he's pretty safely able to wave to that second plate, not going to be going down. 3 top, 2 mid, 1 bot lane, I do believe.
Rift Herald started up once again. This time around, Smithy has vision, so Svenskern's got to get out of there.
Licorice, of course, pretty easily able to win the top side fight, an impact out of mana and the health bar down to half HP, pushing Smithy back over the wall as well. So once Licorice shoves in his blade, probably goes back towards that Herald as well. Barely taking damage. Now Nissi coming by as well, 3v2.
This objective is all about your solo laners because C9 drafted their Syndra for the priority mid lane and Licorice has control over top side. Now though, they're collapsing anyways. It's gonna be a fight!
They're going for the stun. They're gonna burn down Svenskeren. What an ult. Doesn't press R in time. They get the Herald as well. Huge pickup there for Team Liquid. Now Niski's stuck in the pit. Has to flash away as well. Objective and the kill goes to Team Liquid.
Svenskeren taken down again. And Rift Herald for Team Liquid plus a rotation from the bottom lane means turret destruction.
That's really big plays right here. TL looking solid. It ties the game up in gold. They'll wait to summon the Herald a bit later on. It went to Impact a while ago. Meanwhile, Licorice hard split pushing top side will knock down that turret for himself. So first for the game now puts Cloud9 ahead 600 gold for what looks like the first time all game.
So the reason why Cloud9 were confident in going for this is because Licorice has control of top side, Niski had pushed Jensen back. But since they collapse and the big timing comes through with the ultimate from Sejuani, and then no activation on the Aatrox ultimate, he just goes down with the Shock Blast. And that is going to be a very nice fresh of breath air for Team Liquid. See what they do if they can run with this one.
Now, unfortunately for Impact, he is locked in a top lane for a little while here. He's still up on that side of the map, but should be summoning before too terribly long. Sneaky just afraid of what taunt flash and a backwards E would do to him. Can't actually go for too many turret shots here. It's a short range champion. Someone like Caitlyn will get a lot more turret damage, but the scaling obviously better on Xayah. We're gonna just keep on pushing, and now this could be difficult. Impact, yeah, immediate flash, knows what he's caught out. Out he goes.
The top side of the map, definitely a dangerous area for Impact with his turret being taken. The Jace doesn't have much else to go on, so he's rotating towards the mid lane, and they have Orianna going down through the river here. Drake is about to spawn. It's an Ocean Drake coming up. Rift Herald activation, that charge, you see the health on the turret.
Oh, it'll die.
Yeah, that plus, it's gonna need a little tiny extra than just the charge, I think.
I think without plates, let's see. But you're right, Kobe. Bigger brain. Wow. I'm actually surprised without plates that turret didn't fall, but it is going to stay alive. And you look at her still goose egg on turret destruction so far this game. And we wait to see now as Ocean Drake spawns up 17.5 minutes into the game. And very close. 300 gold separating these squads.
Oh, they're going for it.
Damage on this Svenskeren. Tom's going to come in as well. Gets the ult down in time. And that's the forced revive. Now for round 2, Smithy's on the chase. Gets the blue smite. Not going to go any farther. Still has the ult though. And Svenskeren can no longer fight. That Shock Blast was close.
Yeah, Svenskeren just completely annihilated there. Without the ultimate, Aatrox very, very futile to go try and fight this dragon. So that is going to be an easy objective for Team Liquid.
Drake number 2, 3 kills. Gold still almost identical as the bot.
Oh,
no!
I hate to see that. Cannon Minion survives. And CoreJJ says, I saw that.
Yep, we all did, Double Lift. And he may have had a sneaky's landing phase.
All right.
25 CS doing well. Quick wave clear there for Impact. And we'll go back to the holding pattern in the mid game. Waiting to see now what can be done. Obviously, the time for Impact's Jace to matter has well passed. He is going very one-on-one in the build, though. It's Black Cleaver into Blade of the Ruin King next. He is going to try to get some pressure against that Poppy, but it does mean his team fight's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, I mean, the poke that you're going to land on the back line definitely going to take a hit here with this build. And I don't know if he ever really makes any headway. Maybe with the double fight.
Right over to Aatrox instead of going for Zazel here, but Svenskeren stays alive on that one. That's Sejuani ultimate down. No shockwave burn for that.
That's huge that the teleport is used by Cloud9, though. Licorice bottom side means Impact gets to get more money. This is how he came back on the Jace last time Team Liquid played it, when he plays it just PvE against Turrets. Jensen.
PvP though here for Licorice trying to chase on in, still being slowed down. Jensen got the shield. What a play! Here comes Stopwatch, here comes CoreJJ, and would you believe it? They've got a taste for Licorice. They've all shown up, and down goes the top laner, while the turret falls as well. 4v1, the poor Poppy will die, but the fight might just continue. But Jace around the back line. This could be a slaughter. Here comes Impact looking for a bit more. The ult used. Niski buying a couple more seconds, but watch out, it's 5v3. They're gonna find yet another kill. Trading it back though. It's a 4-for-1 long term. What a fight for Team Liquid. Sneaky's running as well. Has to burn the ult. Looking for the blast plant. Finally builds the space to stay alive. But again, 4-for-1 Team Liquid.
And again, this one is started by a Cloud9 member trying to chase Jensen down. Over and over again, his old team just spending a bit too much trying to kill him with too many answers from Jensen. He holds on to the stopwatch till the last second. He has the Galio come in. CoreJJ says he's got a new support now.
Yep.
And he's here to save the day. Team Liquid really rallying around Jensen to support him and find the kills over Cloud9.
I want everyone to go to Jensen's Twitter profile and find the tweet 2 weeks ago saying, imagine camping a mid lane. Imagine camping mid against a smart mid laner. It's happening here again. He's turning around all the fights. He's 1-0-5, all on the back foot of receiving the gank and turning it around. He's doing a really good job describing all this stuff right here. Oh, he got it. That's okay. Better than double lift. We all knew it.
Calculated.
90 gold.
Meanwhile, we need to look at how are Cloud9 going to get this game back under control, because they continue to give away objective after objective now to Team Liquid with these consecutive plays. Licorice is the point of power for them, this Poppy, but him being the one down to go down there, I guess he's still got control over Impact.
He really does. Like, this is going to be a very clear side lane lead versus the rest of the squad, it feels like, for Team Liquid doing very, very well. I mean, almost every single player has a farm lead and maybe kills as well on top of that one. Not going to find the summit. Close. Sneaky's got to be a bit careful. He's going to walk away from this one. They found Xfinity, though. They might just knock down Sejuani. The resurrection coming through for the jungler. Finally, one kill for Niski. But look out for Svenskeren down to 500 health. They're not going to get the refrag, though, and it's a 1-for-0 Cloud9.
Ooh, I thought Double Lift might be able to pop off in that team fight in the backline, but he doesn't get it. Enough of the damage out. C9 find the kill. They find the turret here, and quickly they answer the question. They will take more risks. This is what everyone has said with the eye test, looking at these two teams. Team Liquid, much more calculated, but Cloud9 will continue to fight, look for these opportunities long into the game. Here's another replay of how it started out with Licorice. Going for Jensen, it was over a ward, so they saw him walk by this wall. He sees the opportunity, he knows he's got his charge coming back up, goes for the flash into the wall. And how much HP? We can't even see the bar, but he's able to use the stopwatch to deny the auto that Licorice had in the air. It buys the time for the Galio ult to come down. That is the worst feeling after you are so close to getting the kill. And all of these crowd controllers arrive to save Jensen. Then they have the re-engage here. CoreJJ flashes in on the Galio. Impact comes through for the flank. He knocks Niski back in. CoreJJ then charges another taunt on the Galio here to quick cast, get 2 more kills for the team, even though Impact goes down.
And we can see this game is still close to tied. The second Cloud Drake spawning right now. Is Xmithie going to grab that easy pickup on one of the Shelly twins? Down that one goes. And we can wait to see what happens. 200 gold separating the squads, but I would put the Drakes as even more beneficial here on this one as we wait for the wave, wait for the next big play. Power Spike's good in a lot of spots. A very high AP build for Niski. He's actually went for Spellbinder pretty early on. That'll give him the move speed to find some picks as well. Cool to see that item picked up.
Yeah, wants to make some big highlight plays. I do like it when you are able to shine with this item. You know, if you have vision control through the river, if you have more opportunities once it's charged up to be able to make use of that passive for a very impactful kill. You know, pop it, then pop your ultimate, get your stun down. It can have a very big single impact. Meanwhile, Jensen going the defensive build because he's been on the defense the whole game and it has worked out. The Banshee's Veil comes up for a very critical spell block.
Yeah.
He'll also be positioning much further back. That's what you always want to do here with your Orianna. Use someone else to place your ball for you and get the big shockwave, try and peel for the team.
Yeah, and at some point you got to consider there's going to be side lane 1v1s here between Niski and Jensen. And we were to talk about the matchup being Syndra favored, so the extra 90 or so MR in his item build will make him not get one shot. Doesn't have to worry about Zhonya's cooldowns. So definitely like it. You've got double up to carry as well. Still has really good farm, highest in the game. Matched closely by some other members. Not just yet here. Now Licorice in the 1v1. This time you can see Impact getting some decent damage through. He's got the Rune King completed, and is actually putting a dent in the health bar.
Yeah, with Conquer, with the Blade of the Ruin King percentage damage, and the Black Cleaver Shred now all coming together. Even after losing the early game, he committed to this build so he could have this advantage where he can actually chunk out the Poppy a little bit.
Liquid looking a bit confident now, rushing down this Cloud Drake, and Cloud9 a bit slow to come in. They're moving nearby, but not to contest for the play. Instead, it's to test for the kill. Gonna look for Zazel, not quite gonna kill him yet. Cloud Drake out, no harm, no foul. A third Drake picked up now, and C9 can only take down the mid lane wave.
Yep, Team Liquid gonna chase him back out too. Impact pushes Licorice back. Let's see if they can actually push up here because it looks like Xmithie's leading the charge into the enemy jungle. It's Svenskeren.
Charge down for 3 more seconds. Gotta wait for the E cooldown to come back up. Getting stunned up. Here comes Kai'Sa, but again, that E is always gonna come back up in time, and Double is kind of burning his ult for not much. It will still be the turret going down, and the 1v1 build coming through for Impact, paying its fruits forward and knocking down an outer turret while pushing Licorice out of lane.
All right, let's see if this is going to be enough. Now is the time to move in your wards with the last of the outer towers going down. C9 are the first to tend to their side waves, though. Sneaky top side, Licorice on the bottom side that are trying to pressure the side waves. That gives you 30 seconds then to move into the river, try and place your vision. Svenskeren here is clearing out the Baron currently while they await for the reset.
Still neck and neck in gold. Waiting to see what happens as the bigger team fights might come through later on. Cloud9 able to get a lot of farm and gold from other places as the 4-kill deficit has not turned into a gold swing just yet.
Yeah, remember all of the turret plates in the early game
Yeah.
were taken by Cloud9. I believe Team
6-2
Liquid...
or something?
Yeah. All right, conversion around the Baron area though. Team Liquid have been able to push back. You can see them. That's the basic flow of the game. They trade at 1 minion wave, then move in to try and clear out these control wards. Currently, the rotation is still to keep Jensen in the mid lane. Core JJ using some of the Targon Fox there as well. And then they go support Xmithie on the invade.
They've got a blast plant they can kill. They can start setting up that top side jungle. Maybe look at a Baron a bit later on. One thing that Ocean Drake does is let you set up Baron baits and regen the damage the objective deals to you. You have to dance around this Scuttle Vision for another 20 seconds or so, but mark my words, that objective's days are numbered. Team Liquid's eyes seem to be on that prize. Ward's cleared back though. Core JJ can't fight for that control ward, and out he goes. Pushed around a little bit, got a blast plant. Easily back into the pit though.
Yeah, Core JJ does have everything available as well with the Galio. Decent chunk of HP. Svenskeren's getting fairly close though to areas that C9 don't have vision as they go in to clear the control ward. I would say that Cloud9...
Gonna get some damage, forcing Zazel to half HP and back over the wall.
So Cloud9 do have the speed advantage because they have the Rakan. However, they don't have the CC advantage. There's Sejuani, Galio, Orianna, all these things can stack here. Meanwhile, it has to be a very quick move from Zazel, who, as you point out, is still around 50% HP, hasn't been able to heal yet. And Rakan can get killed on the engage if he's not very careful. There's a lot of damage you can take on the way in.
A nice ward spot in the backline. Thank you, Observer, throwing that. But now there comes the flank. Gallia coming by as well. This could be massive. Sneaky getting away. A nice taunt on the front line, but the back line staying alive. Svenskeren going to be revived. Corey J a little bit low. A Shockless deals some damage. This could be round 2 though. Svenskeren, he's stopwatch, but he's got no flash. And Jensen finds a single kill. Licorice will not push them out. Corey J just barely stays alive. It's 5v4. Team Liquid, without a smite to contest, can start taking over the map.
Yeah, Core JJ gets extremely low, but with the Ocean Drake starts to regen, walks it off. They will be able to get the Scuttle Crab. Maybe Impact gets this turret as well. Licorice is on the way, and yeah, Impact can melt it.
Neither top laner has the teleport. It's going to be a 4-on-4, but I think Licorice may be more important in that team fight as he pushes in towards Impact. The turret will drop down, and Impact gets the local gold all the same for touching it recently, and more money going over. Team Liquid now ahead.
All right, we're going to take another look at the start of this team fight. Sejuani flanks into the backside. Galio cuts off the escape. And Sneaky does have to flash out of the ultimate, but Zeyzal had a good interrupt right there. There was no damage to back up the Sejuani Galio. So even though they cut off this team fight, it was Svenskeren on the Aatrox that was actually alone and in more threat with all the DPS from Team Liquid there. They're able to take down Svenskeren once again on the Aatrox.
And if we don't see fights in the mid lane, we see fights in this top jungle for vision control. It's not C9 getting vision across the river, it's Team Liquid trying to push those wards off their red buff to set up the Baron baits, to set up those steals, or prevent the steals, I should say, or maybe set up a sneak. Right now it's going well for Team Liquid. They are poised to be ahead in this one and poised to win if they can keep this control going. They'll get a blue buff steal for their efforts as well. On the other side of the map, Licorice can really only watch here, and his ward will probably drop as well. He can fight Xmithie for some control, but we know the Team Liquid's reinforcements are nearby. And now looking at Zeyzal, he's got to make sure he can jump back to the squad. Gonna go for the charm, go for the knock up, a big burn down onto Xmithie. Gonna try to knock down Sejuani, tack on the front side as well. 2 more autos, but no! Sneaky is stunned and he's shut down. What a kill for Xmithie! And suddenly they're gonna find a second one as well. Licorice is gonna drop. It's a 2-for-1 as a single trade kill comes through for Svenskeren, but it's only on a support. 4 vs 3 on the map.
Yep, Team Liquid have complete control right now. Ocean Drake healing up the Sejuani, as well as I believe he bought a Warmox. So they're going to be back to full health and continuing sieging.
And this could be pretty easy. There's a lot of carries missing now. One of the big tanks and the big damage threat is gone. Pushing forward as Jensen doing a bit of damage for this team. Not going for the turret, they're going for the Drake. They're stacking those up instead. They know later on down the line when this drops and the Elder Dragon spawns, either objective trade is good for Liquid. Getting a Baron makes you siege, getting a 5-stack Elder is great for closing a game out.
And again, they take the route with very little risk. Able to pick up the Ocean Drake. Afterwards, here's another look at how it started. Xmithie in the jungle, they have vision on him. They decide to go after the Sejuani here. Zeyzal, as we said, on the Rakan, it's an interesting champion because all you really have is the speed of your engage with your ult and that combo, and they use it on the Sejuani. They aren't able to get the kill. Licorice did follow it up with a knock into the wall there, but there's no damage around to really convert on this kill, so it's a lot of their initiation used on a very tanky target that they don't have the DPS in position to capitalize on. And now I also want to look at the experience levels. If he gets knocked up though, this
time it will be the year of the pig. It's on the menu. Cloud9 pick one up. They're gonna look for doing a little bit more than Jungler gone.
Yeah, big difference when they've got 4 extra people surrounding Xmithie. They take down the Sejuani. Let's see what they can do after the fact.
And as they push in, they're going to take down mid lane priority, push these waves aggressively, force Liquid to react to that. They've got these 25 seconds to work with. They've been losing control of this game. We saw it the last weekend against TSM. Like, I don't know how to get back into this game. We're losing control everywhere, and they found some big flanks. They found some missteps, and they got their openings. Maybe looking for one here as Core JJ spotted on top of a ward. As they put it down and they get rid of some of this vision, C9 temporarily now have vision control their own side, but have yet to clear all the wards outside the pit. Scuttlecrab being a big deal there, and it will be a kill that turns into about 3 wards changing hands, and otherwise no major map changes. Impact has the inroads in the bottom inhibitor turret, though, and no one's answering him. He's going off to kill the minions. Sven wants to flank. They've got a few moments of 5v4. There is no TP for Impact. Can they get in, though?
Yeah, the map very dark for Team Liquid, but they do have the Scuttle Crab, so that's why they're not as worried about Cloud9 actually starting up the Baron. They know they're probably just lying in wait here.
Out.
Minions are heading up on the bottom side, almost at the turret as well. And here goes Cloud9 circling around.
Forward spotted, sneaky bit of a tackle there. Svenskeren, not half HP though. In goes Doublelift, trying to get the big kill coming across the shield.
Oh my!
They might knock down Svenskeren. In the front line is Licorice, very, very tanky as well, but they force the revive. Doublelift, 1 versus 2 in the jungle in support and winning out on that as Licorice is forced off as well. TL coming ahead of that fight.
Doublelift takes Svenskeren out of this play by trading ultimates there and the health bar being chunked out. Svenskeren has to go back to base. There's no other answer.
He's got to
With
try
that,
instead.
Here we go.
Okay, he's got Smite, he's got Flash.
It's
no ult,
gonna be a one-way
no vision.
mission.
Control ward comes across. C9 might look for the play core today on the wings, waiting to ult for himself. Health bar is getting a bit low. Aftershock trigger, then turns off. 3,000 health, and the ward is gone, but C9 can see inside the pit a little bit. Bit of damage coming through. No one's going to land just yet, but they've caught him out. Zeyzal is gone already, and it's now a 5 versus 3. A root's not going to matter. Not on the tank right just yet, and the stun won't mean much either. Baron is going to reset, though.
Now Zeyzal is dead, and Svenskeren still has not healed on the Aatrox. He's extremely low. He can try and jump into the pit. He does have Flash as well and Smite ready, but they have to be so careful balancing this. Chase pushing up mid.
And TL just keep regenning as C9 are waiting around and running out of wards. They still have the Flash, they still have the Smite, but the vision is out on this one. They've got to try to guess when it happens. The turret likely to drop, and TL just waiting. They're regenning with the Drake. Another ward goes down. Still can't see what's going on. When can they pull the trigger? Sneaky trying to make something happen, trying to get Baron to aggro and reveal himself over the wall. Are you kidding me? The Baron picked up by Cloud9, and it's time to run away. They only lose the jungler.
What? Are you kidding me? Licorice goes on impact, but Cloud9 get it. I think it was Niski,
Yep.
the new mid laner, coming from the European LCS back to North America against Jensen this time technically, but it was him versus Team Liquid, and he secured the Baron.
Early Smite for Xmithy.
Oh man, Xmithy known for hitting his smites on big objectives to steal them away from opponents, but he gets a taste of his own medicine this time around. Svenskeren.
Smite to 50.
Svenskeren didn't even actually smite, set it up. It was just throwing all of their damage in at the same time, and Xmithy with a slightly early smite there. They take it, and Cloud9 have bought themselves a pass to extend this game. Let's see how this turns it around. Team Liquid were kind of closing the loop, but new life breathed into C9.
Absolute lifeline here as we wait for the next items to come through. Licorice, though, drops about 2K, has to respect this a little bit there. Baron buff on means some temporary power, though, and C9 look like they want to push this pressure. But look at the damage. Doublelift is so painful.
Yeah.
He even chunks Nisk a little bit as well.
Svenskeren just constantly chunked out in these fights. Now, C9 are going to have to walk away from this Elder Dragon. It's very, very threatening because 4 Elemental Drakes to the side of Team Liquid. They've got a Kaisa that can just burn through the HP bar. Elder Dragon doesn't pose really any threat while you're tanking it either. So it's all about the vision. Can C9 get in?
And they might just try. 4,000 health on the Dragon. Here comes the stun in the front line. The charm and the knockup as well. The resurrection onto the C9 jungler. Xmithy pushed low as well. But Svenskeren stays the number. He's going to drop 1 for 0. Now Licorice very injured. In comes Galio on the wings. Licorice, though, has to flash the shockwave. The Dragon's going to reset and Cloud9 stay alive. But it's 4 versus 5. And they're going to give this control away. And Team Liquid get the better of the 2 neutral objectives. A 5-stack Elder Dragon. And they'll have a minute and a half with that one after the Baron times out. They've earned this one.
Woo. All right, Elder Dragon for Team Liquid, and they are not resetting. They're going to try and use this advantage to open up an inhibitor turret here. Baron buff does buff up your defense as far as trying to get the minions there quicker, trying to make them harder to clear out, but the minion wave for Team Liquid has arrived, and they are going in.
And they're going to siege right now. The turret's going to drop for sure. Svenskeren not yet alive to defend this one. And needs the ult the front line anyway. Picks up a Guardian Angel, but the inhibitor is certainly going to die. Team Liquid are in that one off the Dragon pickup and off the kill they got for Svenskeren. Easy reset available for them, and they can take away the jungle on the way out.
Well, Team Liquid decide the Baron steal is just a speed bump in the road to Cloud9's base. They pick up the Elder Dragon on the way and make quick work of that inhibitor. Another
Try
look.
again. Yeah. Svenskeren at half HP, has to ult in, and it's not enough for him.
Yeah, Svenskeren on this Aatrox has just been paper thin. It's chunked out over and over. This time around, they take him down, and Licorice trying to tank 2 members of the other side. He's forced to flash the Shockwave in the end, so C9 have nothing left for a front line.
Or JJ was just so durable. Managed to channel the W at the start of the fight, turn on Aftershock. They couldn't burn him down at all. The shield barely even broke, and yeah, it's a really good start for him. Of course, going towards Locket, has the redemption already. Or JJ playing the front line really, really well.
What an addition to this team CoreJJ
God.
has been.
He's so good.
Incredible playmaker. He's also such a big voice in their communication, direction in game. Really a whole new look for this team that already had back-to-back championships in 2018. And now they're looking to cement their place at the top of the standings. If they win this game versus Cloud9, that will be 2-0 for the season. They will own the tiebreaker. Nobody else is close to touching them in the standings.
Team Liquid, I think the goals are to do what only really Cloud9 have done at Worlds, which is perform well internationally. And they're going to knock down another turret right in their face. Baron buff is timing out, and they've got the stopwatch out of CoreJJ. Popio's going to knock back the Sejuani, which is pretty useful, but TL's front line's still pretty durable and still feel pretty good about poking. Middle lane taking damage from the minion wave as well as they sacrifice that top inhibitor, and they just simply wait out the Elder Dragon buff. As the timer is gone, the base is in wreckage. A 7,000 gold lead now for Team Liquid.
Teleport comes through. Are they flanking?
They're going to try. They're going to look for CoreJJ, maybe for impact as well. They find a little bit here. But will there be a good chase through? Here comes the rest of the squad, and Licorice at half HP. They'll put in so much damage, they find the charm. Do they have the damage? They do not. CoreJJ finds the knockup, and Zeyzal is forced out. The fight continues. Licorice knocked back in the team. Double is so terribly low, but he's got the Guardian Angel anyway, and they will knock down Sven Skarin. The fight continues on the other side of this map, as they find a knockup in for Licorice. It's a 1-3-0 so far. The Shockwave, and it will find 2 kills now. Licorice on the run. Make it now with third Team Liquid. Have pushed Cloud9 out of the mid lane, and 4 vs 2, they're ready to push them out of their own base.
Team Liquid were going for the reset. Cloud9 took the fight for a chance back in it, but now they have been punished, and Team Liquid are coming for those Nexus turrets.
There is almost no way to stop them now. 4 vs 2, they've got the region, they've got the waves, and somehow 2 must defend against 4, but the turrets will certainly fall soon. Doublet is full health with a Guardian Angel. They find a stun, but a summoner gets him alive. First turret drops, second turret's gonna drop as well. They'll grab the KDA first, and they'll drop down the 1, then the second. It's an ace, and Team Liquid are well and truly the best team in North America.
Team Liquid removing any doubt there was and cementing their spot at the top of the standings. LCS #1 team and MSI hopeful.
2 games ahead, 5 games to play with the head-to-head owned over Cloud9. Matching them will be almost impossible, although it's still the finals matchup everyone's expecting to see. If TSM has nothing to say about that later on. Either way, it's happy. TL still prove they are the best team. They are #1 right now. They have stopped the 8-game winning streak of Cloud9. And even though you had Nisqy stepping back up 4-2-1, a solid performance on a losing team, it was not enough. The rest of the team could not do as much as him.
That Baron steal.
That Baron steal was big. He did everything he possibly could have, but 4-2-1 not as good as 4-0-12.
Yeah.
That was Jensen's scoreline here. Team Liquid, definitely the better performers here in this one.
Yeah. Licorice also showing his versatility, once again bringing out the tank play, but not enough for Cloud9. Team Liquid played it control the whole time.
Yum.
They consistently able to just steamroll here through the mid game, and that last team fight, effortless as far as the collapse, the peeling around double lift. CoreJJ standing by his side, hitting the knockup, making sure that the Kai'Sa doesn't go down.
5-0-6, plenty of damage. Really good game overall by Team Liquid. Now we're going to send it down to Awfully, who's ready for an interview with the first place mid laner.
Thanks, guys. Mid laner, wait a second. This is Doublelift, the AD carry for Team Liquid. Congratulations on the win. It was a first place match between you and Cloud9, basically. Now, I think a lot more people were expecting more from Cloud9. Were you?
Yeah, I think we expected a lot. I was really nervous coming to the match because they're a really strong team and they usually own us in scrims. So, yeah, I mean, they had some interesting strats. I think Zyricon is a really, really hard matchup for Galio support because the kill potential they have is really insane. And basically, we only had one play, which was to flash in. It didn't work out. So after early game, sneaking lane, there was really hard for me to feel impactful. So we were basically waiting for our time to go in, and we saw a chance at Dragon, and I guess Cloud9 is used to teams just rolling over against them, but I think we're a team that usually puts up a fight over every objective, and I don't think they were expecting that.
And I mean, you guys are 12-1 right now, sole possessor of first place. You had the one loss against TSM, but after that loss, you guys bounced back stronger than ever. So what's more beneficial to the learning of the team, constant winning or being able to have a loss that you can kind of learn from mistakes from?
No, that loss was a huge wake-up call, so it was really great. I mean, we were all really, really upset, and we really hated losing to TSM, and like that can be a really good thing. It could be negative, like we could have like turned on each other a little bit or something, but we just said, our mechanics were really bad that game, so let's all just like play a lot more solo queue and take practice a lot more seriously. So since then, I think we've been playing a lot better.
Well, Double, thank you and congratulations again. And let's hear about those predictions from the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. About half the caster crew is wallowing in their pain from the C9 prediction. Not Mark.
Yeah, I'm cheering. I did this, but I thought you were going to say cheering.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, me. No, not quite. Battle for first place. Team Liquid reigns supreme here, as they did in the first game of the season, now holding the head-to-head 2-0 over Cloud9. But that game delivered in many ways with some back-and-forth fights and definitely chances for both teams to walk away with the victory.
Well, I think Double said it well. We were expecting more out of Cloud9, but I don't think it was so much as more plays, but rather better execution. I do think they had the right idea a lot of the times, but it was just such a sliver of margin of error that they were making, particularly Sven. Not such great plays here and there, but the idea was really good all the time.
Yeah, I think the first blood that happened in the mid lane, it was a decent idea. They're trying to go on him right away. He gets two because he did a good job pushing the wave. And then the thing that they mess up is the flash Q here by Sven misses the sweet spot knockup and damage. And Jensen ends up burning down from the Corrupting Pot to around 50 HP. He's one more Q. And so if they were able to get that knockup, they might have secured that kill. As a result of missing it, though, easy turnaround.
I think even with that knockup, he lives. The big mistake here is that they went too early. If you're watching Jensen's position, you know he's going to keep moving forward because he pushed a wave, right? But Niski is about the 3 range creeps and 1 melee away from getting 2. So if you just give another 5 to 7-ish seconds for Niski to kill those range creeps, and maybe smite a melee creep going in, that's a guaranteed first blood right there. Because Sin just needs to be 2.
Either way, there may be a couple opportunities for C9 to convert that early kill, and instead it goes the other direction. That's not where it stopped, though. Of course, we took a look at the top lane quite a bit throughout the game because it was, what a shining point for C9 when we were looking at the matchup and the pregame expectations was that Licorice would be able to handle it. He gets that tank Poppy into the carry Jace for Impact, and that lane had some shenanigans.
Yeah, the nameplate's backwards. It was supposed to be Licorice on the Jace and Poppy for Impact. It didn't turn out that way, but it was still really well played by Licorice in the early game to actually kind of crush Impact hard in lane.
Well, I do think the build that you're calling out, Dash, the Blade of the Rune King, helped so much in the mid to late game for the Jace, allow him to actually fight the Poppy, because Poppy just wants to go in, use her spells. She's not going to chase you down. She's just going to try to combo you every once in a while. But this is the level 3 gank onto Impact in the top lane.
Right.
He doesn't expect it because Skull just died. He just hopped over the wall. Licorice just pushed in, but you get close to the wall, and the flash pound comes in.
Yeah, it was a really well-timed gank because Smithy was just in the topside jungle, making sure Jace was safe pushing in, so it was a bit unfortunate. But then, good job by Impact kind of baiting the wave, saying, oh, it's a huge wave. I'm being an idiot fighting you, and then out of nowhere, Smithy shows up and turns the round. But at this point, the damage has kind of already been done. It is still not like a super huge Jace favorite matchup where you're 20 CS up and taking the turret, but it went completely the other direction. He was 20 CS down. You saw the forward percentage was 60% for the Poppy in this matchup. That is a disaster, and as a TL anticipating to win, I was terrified for a little bit.
I think Licorice did a huge blunder right there. I believe if he just recalled and teleported back in and froze a wave there, because this is one of those situations where people are always asking, how do you know when to push or how do you know when to back? He can't push there because he can't get the wave in time. Even if he can push wave out, it's not going to get to the tower, so he has to recall. He greeted for the push wave, gets killed for it, and that entire advantage he just got is now gone. Because you killed the Jace after he TP'd in, and that's huge, but then he just throws it away.
We'll have some time to keep hashing this one out and analyzing the game itself, but for now, we're actually throwing it back to Avali for an interview with Niski.
Thanks, guys. Niski, I just wanted to grab you after the game versus Team Liquid. Tough game. Where do you think it went wrong?
I mean, I feel like we had all the tools to win the game, especially after we got an advantage on the top lane, like for Licorice. And the early plays we made were not that bad, I think. But I think it went wrong first at the Herald, where we should have won that fight, I think. And yeah.
You guys did have close moments. You and Licorice had that coordinated Baron steal play that was really exciting for the team. But so this was the fight for first place. You guys are still holding on to second, and you have the rest of the split to rack up wins. So what are you really going to be focusing on for the last few weeks?
I mean, I think still just winning every game, because I do believe we can win every game from now on. And even today, I feel like we should have won if we played it correctly. And yeah, nothing special, I think, to work on.
Well, Niski, thank you so much for taking the time. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Avali. Let's continue our conversation around the team fighting that took place in this game. Again, we've set up the Poppy, this really solid frontlining tank now for the side of Cloud9. They should have the tools that they need in order to execute on some fights, and they look for those opportunities. But now we go back to the point you made at the top of the segment, Crumbs. Execution not always there, or maybe a bit of outplay on the side of Team Liquid. Let's take a look at this one. We've got Licorice chasing out Jensen in the red jungle.
Right, and this is one of those situations where you need to press tab to see if they have a stopwatch. He should know that he has, and I appreciate the play, but it definitely turns things around. At this point, C9 needs to say, okay, you're just dead, Licorice, we're gonna give up. And they commit to this fight, and they all end up, like a lot of them die for it. I think it's 4.
It's 4 kills, I believe. Yep.
So I actually think the reason why Licorice overcommits for this is he made a mistake teleporting down bottom at the first place in the bottom tower. So now Jace is getting top tower. He's like, I gotta get something out of this. Commit. Everybody comes in. Exactly, right? You're trying to overforce, trying to make up for an earlier mistake, and it turns out to just bring the whole ship down.
And this is a big problem because, like we were saying, Licorice is ahead. He's got the better, team fight champion, so they should be winning from this point on in the game, but they just throw it right back. And the thing with Kai'Sa for Double Lift is it's such a late game monstrous champion with so much individual carry potential. They set him up.
He picked up 3 kills in that fight alone, totally set him off to the races high. I know you had some thoughts on the way the Double Lift played this time around.
Right, so I know that he brought up in the interview as well, but there's a very large difference between Double Lift and Sneaky this game. One, I believe Xayah Rakan has a lane advantage over Galio, Kai'Sa, and they won that lane handedly with a good CS lead and good pressure. You saw that they really towards the Rift Herald first, and just throughout the game, Double Lift was so impactful in all these fights, chunking out Aatrox time over time again to force these Barons, to force these Dragons. He's just where he needs to be doing the damage and really showed the difference between them that game.
And it was after they spent 2 bans in an early rotation to take the champions away from him. They had the Lucian and Ezreal banned away. It's one of those things where you didn't really set Double Lift behind, and I don't know if it would have been better to send those resources to another lane.
To be fair, I think it's also a lot easier when the other jungler is just kind of running at you, very non-threat to chunk out, whereas you have a Sejuani that you always have to respect. If you don't press your ult on Xayah, you're dead right away.
If there was an underperforming member for C9 today, it was Svenskeren. A couple of uncharacteristic mistakes we saw from the first blood and then even continuing throughout, and Double Lift taking full advantage of those mistakes many, many times. But now we arrive at the final team fight. This one was a treat to watch, I must say. It was almost edged out by C9, but TL will come away with the victory.
Right, and to me it feels like they took this fight because they felt like they're getting pressured. Baron spawning soon, they're like, hey guys, we need to do something or we're gonna lose the game in a minute. However, I really dislike this play because if you looked at when Licorice TP'd in, Niski is at his double Nexus turrets, so he's still coming in from 10 years away, and it's just like, they're desperate, but are they that desperate to take a 4 versus 5?
It's hard to say. I think they were close to executing on that one. Like if Sneaky...
We saw slivers of hell.
Yeah, if Sneaky didn't get blown up by Jensen at the last possible second, I think it was really, really close game, all things considered. There were a lot of times where C9 could have won, but that last play did reek of desperation where you have one member in the base and you're TPing all the way to the middle of mid lane.
I mean, honestly, I didn't feel that close, though. Once the Baron happened, once the throws happened, like it looked like the Baron more stalled the game out for them. It looked like TL was just a lot cleaner. It's like, okay, we know what we're doing. We know how we're going to team fight. It looks very straightforward. Cloud9's more like, what can we do to break this formation?
All right, they take a stab at it. They fall short this time around. Again, TL with that 2-0 head-to-head record over Cloud9 are sitting pretty. And then from there, you're really looking at the only other team that might be able to challenge them in TSM. And so I just want to get you guys' thoughts at how this TL looks. Is this a better version of TL than we saw in week 1? Do we see large amounts of improvement? Because it's sometimes kind of hard to nail down your first place team and how good they actually are compared to the rest of the league.
Right. Well, we had some flack in it earlier in the season about how fast they're closing out games and things like that, right? And I believe they have the fastest win time
They do now. Now they have the fastest
They
win
heard
time.
us. They're like, oh, these guys are flaming us for not winning fast enough. And now they're playing better. And their macro game, that game was really good. Stalling the Baron, granted they did that a little bit bad. If they kept the Baron higher HP, that's a really good job of
Then
that.
there's no steal.
Right, and then they were doing the Elder Dragon really great as well. So they have the ideas of how to do it well, and they're almost there, like making it perfect. So I'm excited to see if they win, how they'll perform at MSI if it gets there.
Well, there was an interview where Corey JJ was saying, like, okay, yeah, we're getting criticized for playing a little too slow, maybe, but that's our style. That's what we're going to refine, and we're just going to be really good at that. And remember, this guy won Worlds on a team known for that late game, slow, calculated play style. If he's trying to bring that over here to America, we can't complain. He's trying to help us out. Like, this is a guy that's trying to boost the entire scene. Let him play slow.
Final thoughts over here, Mike.
I still think they have areas to work on, of course. Like, the top lane went disastrous, and that was a game where if they don't make that 4-for-1 mistake on the side of C9, like, maybe that does slip the other way.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. TL, the undisputed #1 team in the LCS. Up next, we have TSM and 100 Thieves squaring off for Game 3. We'll see you here after the break.